Fire, smoke, and chaos across several Mexican states. Cities brought to a standstill as criminal groups retaliate after Mexico's most wanted drug leader died following a military operation Sunday. Blocked highways, drivers forced out of their cars at gunpoint, trucks and buses set on fire. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, a former police officer known to most as El Mencho, was the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, wounded during a Mexican military operation and later died while being transported to Mexico City. The U.S. played a role in Sunday's operation, according to U.S. defense officials, though it's unclear to what extent. As fear spread, many Mexicans spoke out calling for an end to the violence.
People are aware of this violence, and what they want is peace, to live in harmony and justice, not in war.
Blockades were reported across various states, and classes were suspended in at least 3 states as officials tried to contain the violence and keep civilians off the streets.
I'm tired of seeing this continue every single day.
Under El Mencho's command, the cartel expanded rapidly, challenging rivals like the Sinaloa cartel for control of territory and trafficking routes. According to U.S. and Mexican officials, El Mencho managed to avoid capture for years. His detention and death is one of the most significant blows to organized crime in recent years, and the first high-profile operation under President Claudia Sheinbaum. The fall of El Mencho may mark a major security milestone, but with tourism, foreign investment, and security for the 2026 World Cup at stake, the world is watching how Mexico handles what comes next. Valeria Leon, CNN, Mexico City.
We've been coming down here for almost 20 years, and we've always told people to come down and check it out because you always feel safe here. We've never, ever not felt safe. And today was the first day as we left the hotel to go have breakfast and saw all the craziness going on and the violence and the smoke that we were actually terrified. And we saw the people running down the streets, running from the flames and stuff and the fire. And we ran back to the hotel, and then that's when they got the shelter in order place, and we've been here all day. And we're staying at Hotel Eloise, and there's no restaurant or bar or anything here, so we've all been here without anything all day, and the staff has been great, running and grabbing stuff and bringing us some snacks and some water and stuff. But it's been pretty scary, as you can see from the videos and pictures I shared, that blocks away is where all of it's happening, and all the OXXOs, they burnt down all of the little OXXOs. So there's been little fires and stuff all over the city around us where it's normally fun and nice and people walking around and all the little local restaurants and all the locals being locked up and hidden with us too. And there's a few homeless people that were brought into this hotel they allowed in so that they had some place to go too. So it's been quite surreal knowing this warm, wonderful place that we come to visit a couple times a year is in lockdown and just terrifying for all the people.
Who's the man behind the chaos? His name is Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, otherwise known as El Mencho. He's believed to be the founder and leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, one of the most violent criminal groups in Mexico. For years, he was one of the most wanted fugitives in the country, but today, he was killed in a military operation in Jalisco. El Mencho was born in Mexico in 1966. In 1994, he was convicted of conspiracy to distribute heroin in California. After 3 years in prison and after being released on parole, he returned to Mexico. There he worked as a police officer in Jalisco and was soon immersed in drug trafficking. But this time, he went all in. He worked as a hitman for the Milenio Cartel and then supervised security and operations for the Sinaloa Cartel. But eventually, he reportedly built his own group, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, which profited from the production and sale of drugs like methamphetamine and fentanyl. In 2018, the Mexico Attorney General's office offered 30 million pesos for information leading to his arrest, while the U.S. government raised the reward to $15 million in 2024. Now, without its head, the question remains as to how powerful that Jalisco New Generation Cartel will continue to be, or if this operation successfully divided the group. Mexican authorities confirmed the detention of Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, in a joint operation carried out with U.S. support after months of intelligence coordination. According to official sources, he died while being transported to Mexico City. Soon after the operation, violence broke out in several parts of the country. Armed groups blocked major highways, forced drivers out of their vehicles, and set trucks and buses on fire, deliberately using them to shut down roads and paralyze entire cities. We're talking about 5 Mexican states that have reported this kind of violence. And authorities reported blockades in Jalisco, Michoacán, Guanajuato, Veracruz, and Chiapas. And as precaution, classes were canceled in at least 3 states tomorrow, while security forces work to restore order and prevent civilians from being caught in the arrest. El Mencho was not simply a regional criminal leader. He was the founder and leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and one of the most powerful and violent criminal organizations operating not just in Mexico, but worldwide. And under his leadership, the group expanded rapidly, challenging rival cartels for control of territory and trafficking routes, and becoming known for its use of military-grade weapons and also drones and highly visible displays of force. For years, he managed to avoid capture, and now he was captured, and after that he died in her route to Mexico City. Violence erupted in several Mexican states after El Mencho, leader and founder of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, died following a Mexican military operation. The cartel became one of the most powerful and ruthless criminal organizations inside Mexico, according to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency. Security forces from several federal branches of Mexico's military carried out the operation in the town of Tapalpa. It triggered a series of violent events across the country, with suspected members of organized crime groups setting vehicles on fire, blocking roads in the area, and clashing with authorities. Jalisco Governor Pablo Lemus Navarro reported. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum praised the work of the agencies involved in the mission, writing in a statement on X, "We work every day for peace, security, justice, and the well-being of Mexico."
It's not unusual in Mexico. Just didn't think anything of it. Kept going, saw another car on fire. Like, okay, that's kind of weird. You saw the ground workers running around, going inside, like trying to hide, and then videos started popping up of like the airport people are running inside, and it happened to just be right in front of our gate.
Look, he just drove by the military right through. Necesito que el gobierno de Lagos me repatrie, pero ya, güey. Look, he just drove by the military right through. Necesito que el gobierno de Lagos me repatrie, pero ya, güey. Look, he just drove by the military right through.
más adelante hay otro.
Ah, ok.
Pero ya
¿Los
no
dos
se ve.
trenes?
Sí, porque todavía falta un rato para que...
Vivimos horas críticas en las que se atendieron incidentes en distintos lugares del estado y el área metropolitana, para lo que fue clave la coordinación entre distintas dependencias de todos los niveles de gobierno. El objetivo principal durante esta jornada ha sido salvaguardar la seguridad de las personas. Por eso desde temprano, desde esta mesa de seguridad que se encuentra en sesión permanente, activamos el código rojo, mismo que continúa hasta este momento para coordinar el trabajo de todas las corporaciones de seguridad y suspendimos el sistema de transporte público y los eventos masivos para inhibir mayores afectaciones a la población.